What's up, everybody? Heroes 310 here, back with yet another video. So in this video, I want to ask the question: could the Eternals stop MCU Sentry / Void during during the events of Thunderbolts? I did this with the Fantastic Four, and we all pretty much agreed that no, they couldn't, not without serious help or plot armor. So, could they do this now? I mean, not now. Could the Eternals do this now? Well, I think they can. Maybe not easily, but yeah. So the Thunder, like you might say, no, Sentry's more powerful than them. That's true, but they don't have to beat Sentry. This isn't necessarily like the goal to beat them down, like a fight and all that. It's merely can the Eternals find a way to end the Void rampage during the Battle of New York? Again, yes. So, for starters, I recently went and I watched a clip online because I was looking for something else, but it was a clip of Marvel Zombies of Icarus battling against zombie Captain Marvel. Listen, I have long since held that the animated universe, and its, spin-offs, I guess we'll say, not spin, like What If and all these animated things come out. I believe they are a good representation of the powers of the MCU timeline, of the MCU multiverse characters, right? More or less. I just think that, the animated versions have a better budget. So that's what you're seeing there. But yes, I do think that's a good indication of how powerful Icarus is. I have hang on, I'm going to sit down on my bed. You might hear a creak here. Okay. All right. Sorry. So I have long since held the belief that Icarus was on par with some of the heavy hitters of the MCU and DCU, and now I guess the DCU universes. But a lot of people didn't believe me, and I didn't have too much evidence to go on, so I let that die. And in fact, I posted a video titled "Why I Believe the Eternals Are Made of Adamantium," because we know adamantium comes from made from Celestials. I don't necessarily hold that belief anymore, but they definitely are made of super alloys. They're like maybe close to or like half the strength of vibranium. But anyway, that's not here nor there. Captain Marvel is a being capable of punching holes in planets. Let's just be like, oh nah, man, ain't no way she that power. Ain't no way, zombie Captain Marvel was that powerful. The zombie reduced her power. Okay. Well, she would still have a good fraction. Well, first, that doesn't make sense because that never really happens. Like, people get stronger when they become a zombie, whatever. All right, she's a little weaker. Captain Marvel, being able to, being a planet buster in pure strength, and having the power to ignite a dying star, going toe to toe with even a quarter of that puts you maybe continental to multi-continental at best. And we actually see that from Icarus in the movie. When he flies so fast, he parts in a massive, thing of clouds from over a continent. And the fact that in order to kill himself, he had to go into the sun. Now, this could definitely be just a play on, because he's Icarus, the guy who flew too close to the sun. But I mean, no. I think that, because they could always just show him just flying into space and just burning up before he ever reached the sun and turning into dust and falling into the sun. No, they actively showed him going in, because that's what happened in the actual thing. Icarus flew too close to the sun, not like the actual mythology is, he flew too close to it and not into it, and his wings melted. So he should have flown close to the sun. As he approached the sun, he burns up. But no, that doesn't happen. He goes inside the sun. So like I said, I've always since believed that Icarus was a high tier character, right? I believe he's maybe 96% the strength of DCEU Superman, right? maybe even equal to him. So Icarus is going to be and Icarus isn't even the strongest of the Eternals. It's actually Gilgamesh. So Icarus and Gilgamesh hold Sentry off on the physical front. Telekinesis, they don't really have an answer for him, but you got Sprite with her illusions, which can throw. Here's the thing with the Eternals. The Eternals are the greatest and most balanced team. One of the greatest and most balanced teams today. Like, they have versatility on lock. You got Sprite with her illusions, Ajax with healing, Icarus with his flight, laser vision, super strength, super durability. But they all got super strength and super durability, but they all have them to different degrees. Gilgamesh with his armor. What's his name? Makari with her speed. Athena with her weapons. Phastos with this. They just versatility. But like I said, this is like, can they stop Sentry, a being who is said to be equal to Captain Marvel, Thor, and Vision? He has telekinesis, energy manipulations, and flight. You don't think they can beat him, but, well, they don't have an answer to his. Like, here's the thing. I'm saying that this happens pretty much kind of how well, actually, now that I think about it, we're going to skip them to the, final fight. Because if we put them in the base with, where the Thunderbolts originally started at, Valentina never gets her hands on the Sentry because the Eternals just wipe the army. Okay. So yeah, we just put them at the Battle of New York. They start at the tower and they fight Sentry. This goes kind of how I don't know. Because Sentry didn't go after the Thunderbolts because he didn't really see them as a threat. I don't know if that same thing would apply to the Eternals. Sentry would and Sentry's kind of new to his power. Sentry would actually work up quite a bit of a sweat going after the Eternals. So when they're on the retreat, Sentry might genuinely have to, part and get at them. Well, not part, but he might have to, give chase to them so they don't get too far, because he doesn't want a threat to them. But, well, I don't know if I would say they're yeah. I'm still going to say Void comes out, okay? If Void comes out, then yes, the Eternals win. They can stop him. And actually, Void is actually going to help them because Void is going to transport them into the mental world. Using all their strength and their power and their durability, they're all going to break out, and then they're going to go find Bob, and that's what stops, the Void. But if Void doesn't come out, that's a very interesting scenario because Sentry is too strong and none of them can really hurt him per se. With his, I don't know, with his yeah. Yeah, they have to go inside his mind and all that. That's the only way they have a shot at stopping Sentry. If he turns into the Void, which is supposed to be his dark persona, his unleashed persona. Yeah, if he goes into that, he can stop them. Anything beyond that, there's nothing they can really do to actually battle him. But maybe they could talk, because Sentry's a good person, so maybe they could they could survive long enough in a fight to talk him down and hey, Sentry, you need to stop. You're hurting a lot of people. You're a good guy. Why are you doing this? So yeah, yeah. Either way, I do think they would, if Void comes out and they transport him into the world and he transports them into the mental world. He frees them. Well, they free him from Void and all that. But if they have to just contend with regular Bob, they're gonna have to put in some muscles. A few of them probably go down, but at the end of the day, I do think they'll talk down Sentry. That's just my opinion. Kind of got me wondering: could Eternals have been a more because I liked the movie. I thought it was good, but could it have been a more well-received movie if Sentry was the main villain for that? That, and we would have got some decent feats shown for Sentry. I think, well, nah, he didn't really do nothing in the movie, so yeah. But anyway, I just want to make a quick video. This is Heroes 3TN. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.